Hi, Nutrition 230, and welcome to our last week in March. And we're kind of gearing in, coming towards two-thirds done with the semester. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how things go, in the next few weeks and how things come together for you. And as you can see, the PSA for number 2 and number 3 are going to be due next Wednesday at 11:59. And so I will, a little bit later this week, post some very specific recommendations for the PSA 2 and PSA 3 and a place to upload them. But I also want them to be shared in the discussion section, so I'll be talking through that too. And basically, the PSA 2 and PSA 3, what you're going to be doing is picking one vitamin and one mineral, and picking some research that has been, recently done with that vitamin and that mineral, and talking a little bit about the results and what those results mean. I've just done a little sample of what that might look like for not a vitamin or mineral, but for branched chain amino acids. So in this, you can see that I took what I would have for my visual for this PSA is, a little chart here. So I showed one study and showed another study, and what I would do in the PSA is say something like, recent research suggests that branched chain amino acids could be a useful supplement for athletes to take either for performance and recovery. Recently, 2 different studies were done in order to examine this hypothesis. As you can see in study 1, which was a randomized double-blind study, one group was given 20 grams of BCAAs per day, whereas another group was given a placebo. And you can see that the group for the BCAAs took them over 7 days, performed an exhaustive eccentric contraction exercise protocol, and creatine kinase and muscle soreness was measured over the next 5 days. For results, creatine kinase was lower in the BCAA group and muscle soreness was lower in the BCAA group, which indicates that muscle damage and muscle soreness decreased as a result of BCAAs. On the other hand, another study with a similar subjects, however, these were untrained males, 20 grams a day of BCAAs for one group and placebo for the other group. You can see the protocol was a little different. So one day there was an exhaustive exercise protocol, just one day after the BCAAs, and creatine kinase and muscle soreness was measured over the next 3 days. In this group, there was no difference in muscle damage, but muscle soreness was lower in the BCAA group. Now, in order to really look at, these results and talk about, what they mean, as you can see, it looks like loading up with BCAAs will help a little bit more with muscle damage, and it might be a little bit more helpful in trained males. However, these both are really small studies, and so therefore we don't know exactly what BCAAs do, and recommending them to the general population might not be the best protocol. So this is just an example of, how you might want to go through the studies that you're looking at, talk about the methods, talk about, what happened and the results, and then what can you take from those results for the general population, right? And you might choose to not walk through this in quite as much detail as I did, or choose 2 different studies. You might just choose to talk through one, but really the purpose of the PSA number 2 and 3 is to talk through a study on a vitamin and a study on a mineral, tell me about the results, and pretend, you're directed to the general population, helping them decide whether or not, maybe to take a supplement or to increase the amount of nutrient that they get each day, or to pay attention in terms of risk factors for toxicity or deficiency. And so as you can see this week, what I really want you to be doing is doing the readings for Chapter 8 and 9, post-lecture assignments, and then some pre-lecture stuff for Chapter 10. And then I would say at least select your vitamin and mineral and pick a study for each one of those that you might want to talk through for your public service announcement. All right, so I hope you all have a great week, and you can expect, midday on Wednesday to have an assignment up on the PSAs with some specific instructions. So for now, just make sure you're researching some studies and choosing something that might be helpful for you to be thinking about either in your personal or in your professional life. Have a great day, everyone.